Hello, welcome back. My name is Peter. This is Dev Suvara. I want to talk about responsible video game development. The reason I want to talk about it is because recently I was involved in a project where we worked with a government agency to develop a website that helped educate young adults about the issues around freemium games and microtransactions and the way that they can actually lead to gambling addiction. Now, there have been studies that have shown that these kind of fast-paced microtransactions can lend themselves towards addiction and also lend themselves towards susceptibility to gambling addictions and other addictions. So the reason that happens is because you get like this euphoria, this spike, whenever you kind of make these kind of like micro purchases, especially in freemium games where you have this kind of roll the dice, gachapon kind of purchase where you don't know necessarily what you're going to get. So that itself, opens the door a little bit to the way that you people interact with electronics in a way that that they then can be susceptible to gambling when they go to a casino. Or gambling addiction, sorry. And so I kind of got thinking about the fact that, where did the game development the whole system just kind of fall into, let's just make casino games, freemium games, casino games, play to win, especially for young kids. I mean, that's just, when I was working on these games back about 10 years ago, 10, 12, when it kind of like sort of started, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is, I guess, a way to to make an income. You could make a game, people would play it, they'd buy stuff. I had absolutely no idea that at that time that there would be an impact on the players. I didn't really think about what kind of effect does this have on people's psychology, especially kids who play these kind of games. And it's not good. It is not a good effect on their psychology. It's not a good effect on their long-term behavior. And I kind of felt like, okay, that's the people that are making these games, and myself especially as well, we are responsible for the effect that it has on the players. And now that people know about it, it's like, well, what can we do about it? Before we had these kind of like freemium microtransaction kind of playable games, there was either subscription or premium purchase, like one-off payment. And you would focus on the game or focus on the story, not focus on the casino elements and trying to hook players and get them to stick on the screen. I kind of feel like we lost our way in games development. We lost our way with what we were trying to create for people. And when I mention responsible game development, by responsible, I mean you as the game developer are responsible for the outcomes that your game causes within their customers, their players. Back a while ago, there was like problems associated with video games being responsible for violence, and that turned out not to be the case, right? So the violent video games did not necessarily increase the rate of violence in players at all, but that was back then, and I actually played Doom and a few of these other violent games, and when I was in my teens. And it was all right. I didn't really worry too much about it. I didn't feel like I became any more violent than anybody else to play these games. I guess it was a simulation, and we knew it was a game. We knew it was not reality, and that you're kind of like walking around shooting stuff. And it was like there was like an element of competition in some of the Quake games when they came out. But this is different because what we're doing is we're creating this kind of like psychological loop where people are stuck in the game. They keep coming back and they keep playing. And they keep spending money. And so, I mean, the responsibility for a player really at the end is with themselves. But if you're knowingly creating something that is there more to take the money out of a person than it is to actually give them value, then I think you need to consider that you're responsible for creating that thing, whether you have a moral compass or not. I mean, that's up to you, right? But I think it's also important that players can see this. If you're a video game developer or a player, then have a look at how you're interacting with these products, especially freemium games, and look at what kind of value they're really giving you. I mean, from one perspective, I played Ultima. Ultima is like a role-playing game and a few other games, and I think of all the entertainment products in the video game industry, those ones that actually gave me real value. They brought up concepts that I didn't really think about when I was a young teen. So like, Ultima 4 brought up virtues and things like that. So previously you'd probably find that in church. Anyway, so video game development, as a developer, you've got a responsibility in what happens to your player as a result of the game, and also what value they get out of it. So, and as a player of a game, you're responsible for being aware of what's happening in the game that you're playing and whether you're getting value out of it. So if you're not getting value out of it, either stop playing and try to get some help if you've got an addiction problem to video games, and go from there. And this is like, it's not something that's really simple either. It's not like it can be solved straight away, because the video games industry employs a lot of people, and people, especially video game developers. There are problems these days with the industry not being able to make money, right? So there's been a lot of layoffs, etc., stuff like that. The younger audience is not really playing as many of the games in the big studios anymore. So I guess what I'm trying to get here is that, we want to be responsible, right, in the way that we create our products, and we want to take responsibility for our own actions, and that way we interact with them. That's pretty much it for this one. There is a course coming out, a video games development course, and I will actually be doing a guest speaking session about this very topic. So I thought I might raise it here to just get some things to talk about. If you've got any ideas about this topic, about gambling, about addiction, especially related to video games and freemium video games, do make a comment, and I'll see you at the next video. Gotcha.